Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, the youth of Liberia, the future of Liberia, the future of Liberia. You are on now. If you are able to hear me, you can type in a little message, text, and say, "Yes, I can hear you, Coach King. This is Coach King coming to you. This is Coach King coming to you live on the air, live on the air." This is Coach King coming to you live on the air, just for you. Type in your signal that will indicate to me that you are listening to me, and I will begin to give you some words of wisdom that can help you in your daily life. It's all for you, it's all for the youth. It's all for the youth in Liberia. Not for the adults, only for the youth. Not for the adults, only for the youth. Only for the youth. And I'm going to be calling in Mr. Ruben Bear in a few minutes. He's going to be joining us. Yes, he's going to be joining us. We're going to be waiting for Mr. Ruben. For you out there in Radioland, who's picking up on YouTube, welcome. This is Coach King, ready to give you some words of wisdom that you can use, that you can take with you and use it for your own benefit. That's all I'm here for. Only here for the youth of Liberia, to give you a better understanding about who you are. Really, Coach King, who I am? I know who I am. No, you don't know yet who you are. Because if you knew who you were, you wouldn't be telling me that you know who you are. You see? What do I mean by that? Well, come in and listen. Let me hear you. Let me see your comments that you want to write. There's a James Neal. If you are listening, welcome. I got your message, and you are always welcome to join the discussion with us. Always welcome to join. The youth of Liberia. No, not just the youth of Liberia, the future of Liberia. That's who you are, the future of Liberia. Go to YouTube, click on Chat with Coach King. That's who you are. You are more than just the youth of Liberia. You are the future of Liberia. That's right. Each and every single one of you are the future of Liberia. You are the future of Liberia. So join us. Come on in. Learn something about yourself. Learn about who you are. That's all you got to do. Learn about who you are. Come and join others from Liberia, from all over Liberia. Nimba, Bassa, Montserrado County, Cape Mount. We are all over. And this is what I want to share with you. I'm giving you something for yourself. No adults needed, only the youth. That's who I want to talk to, only the youth. Only the youth. That's who I want to talk with. So, how are you all today? I trust you are doing well. If there's no one on listening, that's quite all right. I'm going to still talk because somebody out there may be listening and they need some comments or some answers from me. So it's just a matter of time. So here we are today. What am I talking about to you today? Well, anything about what's happening in the nation as it affects you. Yesterday, I was talking to some youth who were asking questions about how to how to asking questions as to how they can join the military, how they become doctors, how they become members of the U.S. Marine, and other members of the public was calling in. I would try to answer as much as I could. How to start something, how to start your career. My concept was you have to know what exactly you want. What kind of a career are you looking for? They have many careers out there, but which one do you like? I chose one that I love doing. I loved helping people. That's what I like to do. It brings me great satisfaction to help people. You see, once you discover who you are, once you discover your life purpose, then you go ahead and meet your life purpose. How do you discover your life purpose? That's a big question. Someone asked me that the other day. Coach King, how can I discover and how can I know what my life purpose is? What makes you feel good? What makes you feel good when you're talking and when you're looking around and when you're going about your daily duties or your daily work or you're walking around? What is it that makes you feel good? What is it that you see that makes you feel good? And then read up about what it is. Read. Don't just, oh, I like the way that soldier is dressed. I like the way that police officer, oh, I like the police officer. He disciplining people. No, that's not the purpose of a police officer. You see, when you say the criminal justice system, for you, those of you who are out there in law enforcement or who are students of criminal justice, when you graduate as when you graduate with a degree in criminal justice, listen to what the title is: criminal justice. Criminal justice. Justice, quote unquote. That is the key word: justice. Yes, the courts and our system are at what you call an adversary system of jurisprudence, but it's justice for the criminal or for the suspected criminal or for the alleged murderer or for the alleged rogue. Criminal justice, justice for the victim as well. So you have both sides that you have to balance. Now, most times and many times you will find when you ask a person, when you ask a person, when you ask a person and you want to challenge them and ask them questions about law enforcement, they get upset, antagonistic. When you ask them about the investigations, they get afraid, they get petrified. They don't want to answer you. They are antagonistic to what you are asking. Why? Because they do not know any better. They do not know professionalism. So they are afraid when you trap them and they don't answer properly, it makes them shame. That's why they get upset. If a person knows what they're doing, if they know about professional criminal investigation, and they know the understanding about the rule of law and human rights and constitutional rights, then no need to get upset. But once you have a person getting upset with the public or with the press because they're asking so many questions, that's because they themselves don't know no better, and they call themselves in authority of law enforcement. Law enforcement is different from criminal justice. You see. So you want to study criminal justice to be able to, you want to study criminal justice to be able to arrest people, to be able to discipline people. No, you take criminal justice in order to bring a balance in society, in order to ensure justice for all. Whether you Kru, Gribble, Kunga, Vi, Pele, whatever, that is your responsibility as a criminal justice professional. You see, public safety is important. Public safety is important. So you young people out there who want to do criminal justice, the key word is justice. If you want to do medical work, the key word is saving lives, not contributing to the demise of a patient. You see? Those of you on YouTube, I trust you are understanding. And those of you out there who are listening, now or who might listen later is for you, youth. Now, I need you to show me support by logging on and sending me comments. No one has really been concerned about your advancement in future on the internet. Think back. I've been doing this thing since 2008, long before it started to be a fad or a thing. I've been doing this thing a long time. I was using Skype to talk and other internet platforms long before Google and Facebook and Messenger, long before that time. That's what I was doing. Look, this is not you. YouTube. Inviting you. This is not part of your program. So, I've been talking to the people out there. Hopefully, they are listening. I've been talking about criminal justice. Those people who want to know criminal justice. Criminal justice, criminal justice. The key word is justice. That's the word people miss when you graduate from the different universities in Liberia in criminal justice. It's not to harm people, it's to bring justice as well as the victim. That's what justice is. Criminal justice is a balance in society. That's the problem law enforcement officers don't understand in Liberia. When you can hear me, Ruben? You can hear me on YouTube? You can hear me? Okay. Well, this is it. I'm not going through your program. I'm on YouTube. That's who I'm talking about right now. That's what I'm talking about right now. I invited you if you wanted to be part and parcel of it. So this is what we're doing. So those of you, youth in Liberia, this program is for you and only you. So if you want to communicate, go ahead with YouTube. You're most welcome. Go ahead with YouTube. It's not all the time that you're going to be having Coach King around. Coach King is giving you some very important information. Important information. That's what it is. And for those of you who might hear the broadcast later on, put your comments in. They'll be fine. Criminal justice. That's another area of profession. Medical doctors. For those of you out there who are interested in the medical field, I understand that the military hospital in Liberia, in Monrovia, I think it is, yes, has been given to 2 qualified medical professionals to operate and run. I know those 2 professionals. They are friends of my wife and myself. For those of you who are interested in really being professional in your field, let me know. Send me the information, and I'll be happy to, shall I say, recommend you if you are qualified for further investigation or due diligence to those people in charge of the military hospital. Yes, that's what Coach King is. Coach King finds ways and means for those serious youth who want to get ahead. So that's it. Again, Coach King is here. I hope you have enjoyed some of the communications and some of the messages I've been giving to you. Please make sure that you send me a comment in the in the space provided. I'm on YouTube, Chat with Coach King. Chat with Coach King. It's wonderful being able to chat with you today. It's a nice day, nice weather here in the United States where I'm residing. How's the weather back there in Monrovia, or Bassa, or Sino, or Yegepa, or Kipmount, Grand Chita, San Nicolas? Right up there. How is it? All right. So, what are some of the other issues we've been talking about in Liberia? We've been talking about corruption, competency, competency. Some people say you got to be competent. First, some people say you have to fight corruption by stopping corruption. As I mentioned, there was one gentleman on one of the Focus on Liberia programs who stated that everybody steals. So you have to have a system in place in order to prevent them from stealing, from being corrupt. And I sent him a message, is that's not true. Everybody do not steal. Because if you say everybody steals, then he himself who's talking steals until he puts up a system. You see, he talks without thinking. He talks without thinking. Everybody steals. Well, then that means he steals. So that means if I put $100 down or put something that's not his on the table and leave him, he will steal. Unless there's a way to prevent him from stealing. You see, he talks. People talk. And they put themselves in a bind. They didn't even know that they're messing themselves up. He states everybody steals, which means he steals. So you have to have a system in place to prevent him from stealing. Really? Everybody does not steal. You may say some people, but not everybody. And some people who have certain integrity issues, because you may not have a system in place and a person's integrity level is so high, he's not going to take anything that does not belong to him. So you see, you don't just listen. When you listen to people talk, analyze what they say. Analyze what I'm saying. I want you to analyze what I'm saying and ask other people. Compare what I'm saying and compare what the other person says. And then do research. Get in a book and I can talk to people. Read about it. And this is a man who he said was chosen by the United Nations to go into a government agency or a corporation to straighten things up. This man talks like that. I want to meet him one day. I challenge him anywhere, just on what he says. Just on what he states. Talking about everybody steals. He don't know what he was talking about. He's talking out of his head. And I just explained why he's talking out of his head. So now, if you want or anyone wants to challenge that, challenge what I said. I don't steal. I'm not here to steal. A system doesn't have to be in place for me not to steal. What's wrong with him? So you got to analyze what people are saying. Just listen to what they say because they got what, master's, doctorate degree. And talking to people with these degrees. You can have all the education in the world. But if you don't know how to apply it to the day-to-day functioning of your life and the day-to-day functioning of other people's life, your education is worthless, hopeless, useless to everybody. You have doctors, Dr. Brown, Dr. this, Dr. King, Dr. So-and-so. Everybody got doctor degree. But what is the doctor degree in? You have doctor degree in sports. You have doctor degree in therapy. You have doctor degree in early childhood education. You have doctor degree in law. You have doctor degree. All kind. You have doctorate degree in carpentry, doctorate degree in science. But just because you have a doctorate degree, you must, when a person talks, you must ask them what they're talking about. You got a doctorate degree in sports, and all of a sudden, you go, oh, whatever he says, he begin to talk history. No, he mean he knows anything by history. You have people talking on, quote, literary hour, and you're talking history. I don't understand that. You write children books, and then you want to be talking history? You get someone to talk history of a nation who's in a literary era, who writes children books, and you're talking about serious historical information? You leaving with a doctor degree in discussing literature? No. You get people like Patrick Burroughs, Elwood Dunn. You get other historians who are known to do research. Not someone who sits there and just reads. Anyone can pick up a book and read. That's why I say everybody can pick up a book and read. And then they want to regurgitate that. Just report what they read to you. And that's all they do. That's foolishness. And people got to stop making themselves feel that they are something or somebody that they're not, or that they know. Now, what I talk to you about is I talk to you all about how to think. I never told you what to think. That's up to you. But I'm teaching you all how to think. And how to think means analyzing and critically analyzing. Oh, remember what I said? Coach King didn't say you must criticize. Critical thinking doesn't mean to criticize anybody. And I'm not critical thinking, so don't let nobody fool you out there and say critical thinking, Coach King don't want you to criticize people. Tell him critical thinking got nothing to do with criticizing anybody. Nothing. It means to analyze everything and look at it in its context. You see, sometimes you have people speaking to you, oh, from the beginning of the foundation of Liberia, the people didn't lay out no streets. They didn't put in proper sanitation pipes and things like that. They didn't put proper electrical wire. You know the history of Liberia in those days? You know what it took for people just to be in another continent, on another continent? You know the problems that existed in the world at that time? The slavery that went on at that time? The superpowers? Where you get big, oh, I guess you figure, oh, well, we got bulldozer, yeah, we can get it. Where the bulldozer coming from? Where the gasoline coming from for them to do the bulldozer? Where? Did you ever think about that? No, because you just listen to a half-truth. You don't listen to the whole thing. And you sit and say, yeah, and the man talking to you in his dialect, yeah, nothing happening. The people didn't do nothing. Why? Why? You think it's easy to bring in development in any era of the world? You have the Aborigines in Australia. Even in Canada, some of the different people, they still want to live a certain way. Whether it's good or bad, I'm not deciding, I'm not saying what is good or bad. I just want you all to think before you open your mouth and you start criticizing people without understanding and analyzing the conditions under which existed at that time. All this modern theory that we have, psychoanalyzing people, early childhood education, criminal justice, reform, those things were not existing in those days. It's developing over years, but it didn't exist in those days. Oh, and some of you all say World Bank. Oh, we go ask World Bank. What World Bank? Who knew Liberia? Who knew the people in Liberia for giving money? Did you know that people in the early days of Liberia, that the Germans was bombing Liberia to take down the flag and put that German flag up? They bombed Monrovia. Yes, with cannons, they bombed Monrovia, and the people stood still and they stood firm, not to take down the flag. You think it's easy, and you sit down and let people fool you? You got to speak your dialect. You think dialect people can't lie to? And no one can lie if they want to lie. Not everybody. I say some. Some can lie if they want to lie. But you got to determine who's lying, who's telling the truth. But how you will determine that? When you don't read, when you don't do research, you don't ask questions. Yeah. So they will mess with you. They will fool you. And tell you only what is beneficial to them. So I want you all to understand. You're listening now, listening later. The fact is, how are you going to think about these issues that affect Mama Liberia? No, this thing I sent J.J. Roberts time. You talking about J.J. Roberts time? Let me ask you a question. Think about this now. If everything started when the settlers came, all the bad, I want to ask you, you heard about King Peter and the other traditional leaders that they met here. Where the name King Peter come from? Where the name King Peter come from? Did you know that the people before the settlers came, did you know that the Aborigines, those who as you say, quote unquote, the Aboriginal indigenous, let's use the word indigenous. That's what y'all like to say. Do you know that they were already communicating with the outside world long before the settlers came back to the continent? You didn't know that, huh? No. Where Peter got any? King Peter, what was that? Your guy King Peter in the indigenous tribe? Huh? They got other names, but I just want you to think about this one and check it out. Where he got his name from. And many other information that you see there that you don't know about because they don't want you to find out. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just want you to find out. Everything started in J.J. Roberts' time. Really? You don't think, do you know that they had the leopard society long before J.J. Roberts' time and they were eating human beings in that era that is called Liberia? Did you know that? They used to kill a human being and bring it to the market to sell the flesh in a human being. That's why the government in those days said that every meat that is brought to the market, animal, it had to have the skin on it. That's where it come from. That's where it come from. But check it out. They call it the leper society. Every time the government would send people up there to catch them, they would catch the people and eat them. All the people would join the society. Oh, but Coach King, why are you telling us about that? Why not? Yeah. Y'all know everything about the settlers, the Congo people, but you don't know much about their own, quote unquote, indigenous people. Because nobody won't tell you. Because you will see, oh, is it true? You see? I want you to find out about that. I want you to ask questions. You see? You say, oh, the education was nowhere in Liberia. Nowhere. The missionaries came to establish this and that. The education was only for the settlers. BWI. Where was BWI placed? You think it was placed in Monrovia? Where the settlers are? It was placed way up in the interior at that time. At that time, it was way up in the interior. Way up there. So they put it there for who? For the local chiefs and anybody else to send their children to learn things. But they didn't tell you that one. You see, that's the problem. If they tell you all those little things, we say, but wait now, I thought you all said that the settlers didn't do anything, that they kept all the education for themselves. But they didn't tell you that one, because if they tell you the truth, you say, but then somebody been lying to us all this time. Who been lying to us all this time? Now I want you to find out. Don't just take what I said. You see, I want you to go ask people. When they put PWI up there, the chiefs and all came and brought their children to learn something that is benefiting Liberia over the years. But y'all don't think about that. You see? Because they don't want you to think. That's the problem. They don't want you to think. The only thing they want you to think about is what they tell you. And you listen to them. Oh, that man's a good man. Yeah, that man not bad man. That man was in my tribe, in my county. He was sitting right here. His uncle, my uncle, her and grandpa, her were right here. Foolish talk. I'm telling you, because you are the future of Liberia, and you acting like this, you allowing yourself to be treated like this, and then you say, "Oh, Liberia, where it will go? Where it will go? It will only go where you want it to go. It can't go nowhere else." So you are creating your future right now. You're creating your future. And all the other countries around us bypassing us. Look at Ghana, Nigeria, Gambia, Freetown, Salium. All passing us. Why? Because we're no good to ourselves. We're no good. And y'all the same youth out there, some of y'all, with Johnny's, oh, don't need to, we're all right. And you sit down and look at Ghana. Some of us, all of you included, your youth, have been to other countries in Africa during the war. You saw what they do. Now you come back doing the same old nonsense that we used to do before. Same thing. You come back to the country. You've been abroad. You see in other countries. You come back. So what do we want? I don't know. It's for you, the youth. And you say you the youth? You the youth. When you had the different administrations, the youth, time for the youth. The youth get down, then you vex. You still complaining. You know why? Because the youth was not prepared yet to take over anything. They didn't learn nothing. That's why the youth were not prepared. Yes. Oh, Coach King, the time has come for our people. There's our time. Our time for what? Because before the war, we had light, we had water running, we had businesses going, we used to go to nightclub, we had traffic light. Yeah, sometimes different parts of the city would go out once in a while, but we had electricity. Yes. We didn't have generators all over the place. We had them. We were enjoying ourselves in Liberia. But now, our time. What you got? What we got? Tell me. What we got? I'm waiting for some answers. What we got? What we got? Huh? Tell me what we got. Yes. I mean well for us. That's why I want you all to open your eyes. And then open your brain. So that you can think. Know how to think. But it won't happen. Why? Because nobody here to help us. Exactly. Nobody here to help us. Nobody here to help us. But the man who gave you a little something, he will help you. Where you living? What you got? Tell me. What you got? You will blame the government. No, not this government. You don't blame this government. You blame where J.J. Roberts time. You see how they got some of y'all thinking? Way back, J.J. And when they're talking to you, they say J.J. Roberts time. J.J. Roberts. The corruption started J.J. way back in J.J. Roberts time. How someone would think like this? Way back, J.J. Roberts time. Okay, you ain't straightened it up yet as a people? We as a people didn't straighten it up, but you blame someone way back? Huh? When you got any type of management taking over an organization or system or process or whatever, it's meant to improve. If someone puts a school down, when your time comes, improve the school. Give it desks, give it lights, give it blackboard, give it books. You don't say that, oh, let me can build my own. Everybody can build their own school. Everybody build building. They bring building, they put, oh yeah. Way somewhere they put building up with the roof and everything else. Where the children will go to school, what they will learn? What's the material they will learn? Huh? Where the teachers that will teach them? Huh? You think about building school. When someone puts a building up, instead of you get teachers, get books, understand what is the pattern of education you want. What do you want the children to learn as a result of the school? No, you go build another school and you put your name on the side. I mean, what does that do? Oh, the man built school. Okay, you build school. Where the teacher? When rain comes, the school gone. Children got to wear boots, raining to go from one building to another. The rain pouring down. Little children. But, oh, that man, good man. Oh, yeah, good man. You're not a bad man. Because you don't know how to think. I didn't say it's bad or good. I say you don't know how to think. So that's why you have to ask yourself, where do I want Liberia to go? Where do I want my country to be in 5 years' time? In 10 years' time? Let's say in 1 year time, where you want to go? Because look at Ghana. The tourists packing up there. They're bringing money into the country. Packing up. Where Liberia? And Liberia used to be a place where people used to come to school. The Nkrumah went to school in Liberia. Nnamdi Azikiwe went to school in Liberia. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, the educational system was bad. It wasn't good. But yet they came to our country to go to school. And you all sit down and listen to people who talk about poor education in Liberia at that time. The same people who talking with a master's and doctorate degree, where they got their bachelor's degree from in the first place. University of Liberia, Colonial Institute, and all the different schools, whatever level they went to, University of Liberia. They came here, got their degree, and went to America or England, wherever, and they registered for their master's degree. So, I want you all to think now. In order to get a master's degree, you need a bachelor's degree. So let me see. If they who talking about the poor educational system in Liberia before the war, before the do time, if they say it was bad, then how come they were able to go to America or go to England and the universities that accepted their bachelor's degree to permit them to go on and get their master's degree? So two things happen. Two things happen. Either that person who talking, who got their bachelor's degree in Liberia, they either earn it correctly or they bribe that professor to get it. So which one now? Which one? Tell me. Two things. This is, you see, I want you to think. I'm not saying which one he took. I'm saying there's two ways. He either bribed his instructor because the education was poor to get his degree, or he earned it academically according to the standard of the universities in Liberia. Let him answer my question. If he answered the question that he studied hard and got his degree, academic degree, then the educational system was not bad as he's talking about. He had got two choices. Choose one. Tell him one to choose. I'm not in the academic field. I'm not in higher education. But I have common sense. Common sense to hear what somebody's talking about. So they can't fool me. You can't make a fool out of me. They make fools out of people who are not yet aware and are not aware of who they are themselves. You see. And I don't want people to make fools out of you all. I don't want people to take advantage over you all. I want you to be strong. I want you to evaluate what people say and make a firm decision on your own. And don't blame everybody from the past. You can't blame the past. You got the present. You can't even handle the present. You can't even understand the present. How you understand the future? All these people in our history, including King Peter, King Long, and what's the other man? King Swaboso, and others. All of them had a part to play in the development of Liberia. It wasn't just the Congo people. All of them had a part to play. At some point in time, they got together and said, this thing got to stop. We got to join hands to come together. Yes, some of them didn't want to join hands, but some people did. And you criticize people. I heard one fella on one of the programs when talking about the April 12th revolution, when they executed X number of people. One of the people was CDB King, named CDB King. Several people that say, yeah, CDB King executed, he was right because he sold slaves. Really? The man in 1960 was about 78 or 79 years old. Pray tell me how old he would be in 1980. How old you think a man would be to be living still and executed? Come on. That's because people don't know what they talk. They don't think. They actually said the man was right. They were right for executing him because he sold slaves. Really? That is how we think. And that's the person who thinking want to help carry you to the future in Liberia? I don't think so. Something wrong. I want y'all to listen to this. I want y'all to verify what I say. 1980. CDB King will still be living. I mean, come on. They don't even know who the man they killed. I'm not talking here about the right or wrongness of anything. That's not my era. My business is for y'all to think. They don't even know who the man they killed. Why was the man named CDB King? They have no idea. No idea. All the divisionists want to do is pit one group of people against another group. The minute they get y'all fighting one another, oh, they can steal. They can steal. I know what they're stealing, but I know what it is they're not stealing. They're not stealing my education. That's what they're not getting. So what do you youth want in Liberia? What do you want for your country? The other day, there was a gentleman from New Crutown, prolific writer. He used to always talk. He said, this government, that's what he said in the paper, said the government got no policy, no plan. This administration got no policy, no plan. It was in the paper, so I'm reading from the paper, Front Page Africa. The same man, when the administration was on election time, when the people say, you must come stand in front of the people and challenge, talk to one another, tell us what your policy is. The same man say, what the people got to talk about policy for? They know what they want. This the man we want. I clip all those things and keep them. They know who they are. The same man who's, oh, what a man can't talk for. We know what a man we want him. You got to can't tell us. We know what the policy is. Now the seaman jump up now because things not going his way. He said, where the policy? How you want to ask the man policy now after he been in office for X number of years? Is it right or wrong? That's not my business. I'm asking you to think. That's all. If you say it right, right. If you say it wrong, wrong. That's your business. What you think, your business. But I want you to understand how to think. So whatever decision you reach at is yours. Your decision. So you can say, I am responsible. You are responsible. You're responsible for your past, your present, and your future. Yes. Oh, but Coach King, you were born in a rich family. And so what? What do you want me to do about that? I caused my birth. I put myself in my mom's womb so that she can born me. Huh? You, where you born? You responsible for where you were born? No, Coach King. Well, then why you want me to be responsible for where I was born? What's wrong with you? You don't think I got sense? But we are responsible for what we do with ourselves after we become aware of who we are as a person, as an individual, and our purpose in life. Then we go forward to help other people, to make it better for them. And that's what I'm doing here. I know what my purpose is. Coach King's purpose is to help open the minds of the youth in Liberia to show them how to think. I keep on saying, I'm not telling you what to think. I only want to show you how to think. Then you want to go jump in the river? You go. You want to go by the road? You go. You like that spicy? You do it. You don't like that spicy? You do it. I'm not telling you who to like and who not to like. Or who to support or who not to support. That's not my business. My only business is to show you how to think. And then you make your own decision. Then I'm finished. I've done my job. But you come and sit down there and want to make me feel guilty by blaming me. They say, oh, because you're born in a rich family, or because you're born in privileged family. So therefore what? I know a person who has been born with a crippling disease, born with a defect, can't walk. In Liberia, he used to sew clothes for women. He's now a fashion designer in Europe. I'm talking about you can't do this because of that. I know a young lady here in many places got no arms. She got only her feet. She can put eyelashes on her eyes and makeup better than any woman with two hands. She can cook food with her legs, with her feet, dress herself, dress her children with her feet. And we who got hands and foot and everything, oh no, oh, we can't do that. We don't know how to do it. Really? Come on, Liberia youth, wake up, man. I'm not here to play around, to baby you. We got brains in Liberia. We got youth with good sense, the good capacity to do things, to help them, but we have nobody to encourage them. We have nobody to encourage them to do better. I can remember there was one time during the change in administration when one of the, I don't know who it was, but it was in the newspaper, saying that book we will eat, quote unquote. Really? That book we will eat? If you would ask me if that book we will eat, then you got to worry about education. Close the doggone education school down. Finish. Close the whole thing down. That's what I mean, if that book we will eat. Look, the youth who are listening to this program, all I'm trying to do is show you a way to think. That's all. Nothing else. I want you to learn how to think. That's all my concern is. Everybody think differently, but learn how to think. Learn what it is that you want for Liberia. Decide what you want for Liberia. If you want us to remain in this stage, fine. That's your way of thinking. If you don't, you have to take steps to improve your lives. You have to take steps. Improve your lives. But think. Look at Ghana. The investment coming in Ghana. You say, oh, we will make manufacturing. Who will come to Liberia when the crime rate is so high? Huh? Who will come to our country when the streets are dirty? Oh, Coach King, you can't talk about the streets being dirty. Really, go take a picture in the street. You got to admit the fact that something is wrong before you correct it. You can't say everything nice. Everything is not nice. But what are you doing to make it nice? What are you doing to correct the problem? How do you expect to grow if you can't accept criticisms? And you can't accept things being pointed out to you? For those of you who know, maybe not, but the king and his new clothes. Find out. Read it. You don't want to be blind like that. Liberians, look. Liberians all over Africa was one of the places when, let me tell you something, when Liberian man used to go to any country in Africa, they say, especially West Africa, they say, Liberia man. Liberia man. Yeah. When we hit those countries, Freetown, Guinea, Abidjan, Nigeria, Liberia man. Now you say Liberian man, man, move, Liberia man. Who that? Move from here. That's what they do to us. We were in Liberia. We used to accept other people when they come with the refugees from other countries in Africa. We used to take them. President Talbot, President Tubman, they all took them. But when Liberia went over there during the war, oh, look how much trouble they gave us. You're sitting down there. You're sitting down there. Don't know the true history of your country. Find out the true history by reading Patrick Burroughs' book, Between the Coal and Forest. Read it. Read about the people who helped shape our nation. Read what a true historian writes, not some politician who talks just for his own self-aggrandizement, or some corporate managing director of some company in Liberia who talks just for his own benefit. You have government officials and public corporation people who are honest and truthful and will tell you the facts. Those are the people you should listen to. Who they are, go find them. But I recommend you defer from anything. Just read Patrick Burroughs' books and Albert Dunn books. You read those two true historians. You read someone who just because he's doctor of what? Some of them got honorary degree just to be doctor. If anyone gave me an honorary degree, I would never call myself a doctor and put myself in the category of those who have earned their doctorate degree from an academic institution. I call myself doctor for it's an insult to those people who study hard and wrote their thesis and dissertation, whatever you want to call it, to get their degrees. And I'm going to call doctor? I want no doctor. Don't let people fool you with doctorate degrees. Doctorate degree in sports, then you want them about, then I'm going to listen to you as though you're some, what? Some knowledgeable person about what? You call yourself a historian, but you go get a degree in physical therapy. What's that nonsense? Ridiculous. So anyway, I'm through. I'm through now because I'm tired talking for today. Those of you who will listen to this program, I want you to submit your comments to me. Post your comments. Say something about it. The comment is open. Pass this information around to your other youth. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. Okay. All I can say is all the best to everyone. Yeah. It's so nice for you to listen in. And I hope to hear from you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye-bye now.